Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Oh, let me just figure myself out here. There I am. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Activate Her with me, Sally Goodwin, and to this week's session of Wisdom Wednesdays. So we are going to be delving into the wisdom of the Lord today, and we are going to be delving into the wisdom of the prophetic symbolism of the new Hebrew month of Iyar. Good morning, gorgeous Tamsin. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, my lovely. Really looking forward to that. Good morning, famous Chantal. Welcome, beautiful Bridget. So good to see you all. So good to see my family, my community, my church without walls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you. Sorry, I'm just double checking that I have. Good morning, Stu. So good to have you on the live this morning, my friend. Welcome. Good morning, my special Seb's friend. I'm getting spoiled having you on the lives every morning. Good morning, beautiful Bertha. Welcome, my lovely. So good to have you on this morning as well. It is a wonderful Wednesday morning. A wonderful Wednesday morning. And good morning, amazing Anthea. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day in Cape Town, South Africa. So I hope it is a beautiful day wherever you might be. Did I say Bridget again? Sorry, my friend. Bridget. Good morning, Nadine. Welcome, my lovely. It's not often we have the privilege of having you on the live. Welcome. Good morning, gorgeous Cole. So good to have you on this morning as well. My word, all of you lovely people. Let me just apologize to Bridget because I called her Bridget by mistake. Good morning, gorgeous Michelle. Welcome. Yes, let's dive into Wisdom Wednesdays. So Bridget, good morning, Estrelita, Sassy Sally. I like that. I like that. Sassy Sally. Yes. So beautiful Bridget. Good morning, Auntie Evie. Welcome, my lovely. So nice to have you on, Auntie Evie. Lovely to see you. Good morning, delightful Diane. Welcome, welcome, my gorgeous Mama Tessa. And wonderful Helette. Welcome, my darling. So good to have you all here this morning. So I was just apologizing to Bridget because I called her Bridget again by mistake. But good morning, courageous Corrine. So good to see you. But we also have a Bridget, that is part of this family. And so every now and again, when I look at your name, I see Bridget. And when I look at Bridget's name, I see Bridget. So forgive me, my friend. But keep reminding me if I get it wrong. Good morning, amazing Anisha from Jacobs Bay. Estrelita and I were just chatting about you, Anisha. Welcome, magnificent Melanie. It's your 49th birthday. Come on, that's amazing. Happy 49th birthday, my friend. So everybody, we all know the drill. Good morning, Radiant Roz. We all know the drill when it is a member of our family, a member of our community, a member of this church without walls. When it is their birthday, what do? But we prophesy over them. Good morning, lovely Lindy. So I would love to see prophetic words coming up for Melanie, particularly from the people who are members of our prophetic school, of which Melanie is also a part. So I would like to see some prophetic words in the comments. Good morning, perfect Pam. Welcome, my lovely. So good to see you. My goodness, I'm searching here for my notes, but I have it here. So yes, so I would love to see prophetic words for Melanie, please, in the comments. That would be just amazing. And I would like to just hold on one moment, ladies and gentlemen. I really need to keep my numbers book at hand. Good morning, Ntandu. Zimbabwe's in the house. Welcome, Zimbabwe. So good to see you, my friend. 49. 49. This is what 49 means, Melanie. 49 symbolizes Jubilee. I know that we sometimes think that it is good morning, Masizi Suzeka. Welcome, welcome. You are so welcome here this morning to be part of this community, part of this family, part of this church without walls. That's what we are. We are a church without walls, and all are welcome. So we're just busy prophesying over one of our ladies, Melanie. It's her 49th birthday today, so I'm just telling her what 49 means, what it could potentially mean, because different people sometimes have different interpretations. But according to my numbers book, 49 means Jubilee. This is the number of branch. So the branch, a branch of a tree in Hebrew, because the Hebrew language is alphanumeric. Hebrew words have numbers attached to them because of the alphanumeric status of the alphabet. So the word branch, like branch of a tree, equals to the number 49, which symbolizes Jesus as the source of all things. Good morning, wonderful Volna. Good morning, Conrad. Lovely to see you. Welcome, my friend. It can also refer to a tribe or a family. It can also refer to the conclusion of a long outstanding matter. The symbolic association can be the setting free of the tribe. Setting free of the tribe. So we claim freedom for our tribe on Melanie's 49th birthday. It says here, set free from a burden. It announces the writing off or set free from of debt and any burden, because 7 times 7 is 49, and you are forgiven and set free. So we often associate 50 with Jubilee, and there is a degree where 50 is, but according to this numbers book, 50 speaks of leadership and authority. So 49 is actually Jubilee. So I'm just declaring a Jubilee year over you, Melanie, that this year coming up for you will be a Jubilee year, that it will be an absolutely incredible year for you, that you will be set free from anything you need to be set free from, that you will be released from any and all debt, that you will be released from any and all burdens that are not of the Lord, any false responsibility that is not of the Lord, and that you will step into biblical freedom the way it's defined in the Bible. I know your heart. I know your heart is postured for Jesus. I know your heart is postured for surrender and sacrifice. And as your heart has been postured over the years like that, you're going to step into an even greater freedom in this year ahead. So we just bless you this morning, Melanie, for your 49th birthday. And we celebrate with you as your tribe. We celebrate with you as your community. We celebrate with you as your family, as your church without walls. And we just love you to absolute bits. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to see some prophecies coming up for beautiful Melanie. And then I was talking to Anisha and saying that Estrelita, who is a member of this family, dreamt the other night. She's a prolific dreamer. She's a prophet and a prolific dreamer. And she dreamt the other night and she got the word Jacob spy. And she messaged me and said that she'd Googled to see what Jacob spy was, where Jacob spy was, and she was wondering if her next assignment was there. So I said to her, well, incredible, amazing Anisha, who is part of our community and part of our Church Without Walls, is actually a resident of Jacob spy. And I've always wanted to go there. So let's see what the Lord does. So I'm just, in case Estrelita reaches out to you, Anisha, because she probably will, if once she's heard more from God, then she will definitely. I know. Okay, so hold on one second. Let's just try something else. Good morning, joyful Julie. Good morning, lovely Lynette. Okay, maybe I'm hoping the internet signal will be better now. So, good morning, Cole. Lovely to see you, my friend. I'm hoping the internet signal will be better now. It should be. Um, every time we complain to MWeb about the internet, they tell us that there's some cables under the sea that have to be fixed. So I don't know about any of that. So, ladies, I hope that you are busy booking your tickets for the book launch. I trust that you are going to all be there in full force. All of my community, my tribe, my church without walls, that you will all be at the book launch in full force. It's going to be incredible. We are going to have members of the prophetic school prophesying over people. We are going to be, God is going to be handing out mandates and assignments because that is what he has planned. It is definitely, so the first book launch was about nations, and this book launch is also about nations. God is really emphasizing nations at the moment, and so he has spoken to me about nations for this book launch as well. Good morning, Radiant Renee. And he has spoken, but more specifically about people receiving mandates and assignments from when they come to the book launch. So if you're unsure of your mandate, unsure of your assignment, unsure of your purpose or your destiny, or you have friends or family who are unsure, it is a good place to bring them to, because that is what part of what it will be about. And then if you, good morning, gorgeous Elmi. And then, yes, so there will be ministry, there will be food, there will be goodie bags, there will obviously, you will receive volume 2 of my book. And so please, would you share far and wide? The tickets are selling fast. If you would tell your friends, tell your family, it's Mother's Day month, so treat yourself to a ticket for Mother's Day, or get your husband to buy you a ticket for Mother's Day. Men are welcome. Courageous Conrad came to the last book launch and brought 2 friends. We have a few husbands who are coming with their wives to the book launch, so men are more than welcome to attend. It will be the majority women, but men who have no issue with that, which most of you don't, are more than welcome to attend. And the tickets are selling fast. And there was something else I was going to say that has just slipped my mind right now. Oh, this is what I was going to say. If any of you would like to sponsor tickets for anybody, because I'm just putting it out there, because some of you last time wanted to sponsor tickets. If any, I do have a list of about 5 women who just are not financially able to afford the tickets. So if anybody would like to sponsor tickets, please, you can really just put the money into my account and say sponsorship, and then I will buy the ticket for the ladies in question, because I have their names on a waiting list. And then also, if anybody would like to yes, Stu, real men wear pink. Wear pink to the book launch. This is a challenge to real men to wear pink to the book launch. Wonderful, Robin, you're coming home to Cape Town. Yay! Cape Town's ready to welcome you with open arms. Good morning, Radiant Reneel. We're lovely to see you. So, and if anybody wants to sponsor anything to go into the goodie bags, anybody wants to sponsor anything to go into the goodie bags, whatever you do, for business, if you want to put a cookie in, or if you want to, sponsor a pen or a I don't know, a notebook or whatever. If any of you want to sponsor anything to go into the goodie bags, please reach out to me and let me know, because obviously we have, what is today, Friday? Today's Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesdays. So Wednesday we have like 3.5 weeks left, I think. Oh, golly, my weeks are shocking. 3.5 weeks left. Good morning, delightful Divan. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, you must see my godson. He is this tiny little gorgeous, cutest thing in the world, and he is about to start walking. So he's practicing his walking skills at the moment, which is just the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. Okay, ladies, I'm not sure. The internet on my side says that it's fine. So I'm not sure whether it's on my side or your side, but I normally get a warning message if the internet on my side is if there's something wrong with it, and nothing has come up. So I'm hoping that it's something that's, yeah. Um, so yes, Hilette. So Hilette puts what 67 means in the comments. And she put it, 67 means to preserve. So it is to preserve, representative of God's care and affection, to preserve us for Him, to protect that which is in the natural from loss or decay. Oh my goodness, turn 2 pages at once. Yes, so there we go. Oh, good, Sunette, you saw it. Wonderful. Okay, I'm glad it's fine now. Good, thank you. I've just shifted. We've got 2 routers and or 2 connections or something, and I shifted from the one to the other. Okay, wonderful women and men. It's so good to have you all here. I'm so excited to see the in-person prophetic school tomorrow evening. I'm so excited to see you all at the book launch in 3.5 weeks time, I think it is. And then the week after the book launch, I will be in Hermanus with Elmi Deneka. Good morning, lovely Louise. I will be with Louise, you'll be happy to know that Erica and Robert are coming to the book launch again. So I'm super excited about that. And so, yes, so the 1st of June, I'm doing a ladies event in Hermanus with Elmi. So you can get in touch with her if you would like to come to that. Come through, make it a weekend, because I have a strong sense that it will be a follow-on from the book launch, because it's the week after. Good morning, Taryn, my lovely. So today we are going to be looking at, I'm so excited to be there, Elmi. We are going to be looking at the new Hebrew month of Iyar, because this evening at sunset, we cross over. It's the 8th of May, 2024, today, 8th of May, 2024, and it is the 30th of Nissan, 5784, the 30th of Nissan 5784. And so this evening at sunset, we will be crossing over into the Hebrew month of Iyar, which is the second month on the biblical calendar, and the 8th month on the civil calendar. So the second month on the biblical calendar and the 8th month on the civil calendar. And it is an incredible month. It is a very significant month. So the month Iyar is often also called Ziv or Ziv, depending on how you should pronounce it. Ziv, I think it's Ziv, but I've heard people pronounce it Ziv as well. Ziv, Z, like I'm an American. Z-I-V. So that word, Ziv, or Ziv, means radiance and light. So it is the month of radiance and the month of light. The name Iyar in Hebrew, the name Iyar, which is I-Y-A-R, is an acronym for I am God, your healer. Obviously in Hebrew. So I am God your healer in Hebrew. The month of Iyar, I-Y-A-R, is an acronym for that. I am God your healer. And that, we often just think of that in terms of physical healing, but it is also in terms of spiritual healing, emotional healing, inner healing, soul wounds, all of that sort of thing that it applies. God is your healer in all of those kinds of things. When He revealed Himself as God your healer, He had just turned the bitter water sweet. So there are many different ways that God heals us, not simply physical healing, but this month of Iyar is a month to claim your healing. God is not bound by months. I say this all the time because people say to me, oh, you're telling me that God only heals in Iyar, or God only does this in this month. No, God is not bound by months. But there are just months that carry a prophetic symbolism that is specific. So if you're pressing in for something, then why is it not wise, because this is Wisdom Wednesdays, why is it not wise to pay attention to the prophetic symbolisms of the different months and then press in even more than normal on those months? So that is the month, this is the month of Iyar. And as I said, it is the second month of the biblical calendar, and it is the 8th month of the civil calendar. And, oh yes, please, could I just remind you all to like and share? Please like and share. I would really appreciate that. And so it runs from sunset this evening. From sunset this evening, we cross over into the new month of Iyar, and it runs through until sunset on the 6th of June. So from sunset this evening through to sunset on the 6th of June, when we will then enter the month of Sivan. So that is what the month of Iyar encompasses. And so it is incredibly significant that we have been talking about times and seasons and understanding times and seasons, and God's calling us to be like the sons of Issachar, because the month of Iyar is the month that is associated with the tribe of Issachar. It is the month that is associated with the tribe of Issachar. So it is a month to understand secrets, times, and seasons. Secrets, times, and seasons. And, let us just remember that it is not the only month that God lets us understand secrets, times, and seasons, but it is a month where the prophetic emphasis is on that. So each month has a prophetic emphasis. And I want to just also tell you, ladies, because now that we're talking about the month of Iyar and the different emphases on the different months, I am for the next book launch, which is the 10th of August. I hope you ladies have saved the date. There is going to also be a diary for 2025 available. A diary for 2025. And each month of the year in the diary is going to have a Hebrew word associated with it, and a little, teaching or something, whatever God gives me associated with that. And Mariska is editing it, so she's going to be doing the illustration. So for 2025, I will have a diary out as well. So yes, so get ready to get a diary for 2025, and it's going to have it will have the Gregorian calendar and the Hebrew calendar in it. So it will be a diary based on our Gregorian calendar, but it will also refer to the Hebrew calendar. It will have all the feasts and the festivals in it, and it will have and it will be focused on a Hebrew word. Oh my word, did you see those hearts? Now, I don't know where all these things are coming from, but yes, so the Holy Spirit loves my diary. So yes, so be ready for that. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to look at some scripture, because for the month of Iyar, the tribe of Issachar, Moses prophesied over them in Deuteronomy 33. Wait, let's look at Jacob's prophecy over. Where is Jacob's prophecy? Here we go. So this is Jacob's prophecy over Issachar, and this is in Genesis 49 verse 14, and it says here, Issachar is a strong-boned donkey crouching down between the sheepfolds, and he saw that rest was good and that the land was pleasant, and he bowed his shoulder to bear his burdens and became a servant to tribute, or subjected to forced labor. Now, there is a whole prophetic symbolism around that. But what I want to speak about right now is the fact that Jacob describes Issachar as a strong-boned donkey. And, we often think, oh, donkeys, particularly if we're not farm people and we don't know anything about farm animals, we often think that donkeys are, stupid, or they're lazy, or they have to be, coaxed to move forward. But what I want you to remember this morning is that God spoke through a donkey. That's what I want you to take from that this morning. And I want you to remember that it was a donkey that Jesus rode into Jerusalem. It was a donkey that Jesus rode into Jerusalem. It was a donkey that God used to speak through. And if God can speak through a donkey, God can speak through you. If God can speak through a donkey, if Jesus can say that if we don't speak up, even the rocks will cry out, he can speak through you. So, and you are created not to be a beast of burden in terms of where other people just lay their stuff on you and you just crumble underneath it, but you are created to bear the yoke and the burden of Jesus, which are light and easy. So there is nothing wrong, and he calls Issachar a strong-boned donkey, and he saw that the rest was good and that the land was pleasant, which reminds me of that psalm where it says, my boundary lines fall in pleasant places. But the rest of the prophecy is based on Issachar's actions in the future and the tribe of Issachar and what they did in the future. Moses's prophecy over the tribe of Issachar, because remember, Jacob is prophesying over his son Issachar, and Moses is prophesying over the tribe of Israel. So the tribe of Issachar. What is it with my words this morning? I'm trying to speak too quickly, I think, maybe. So Deuteronomy 33, verse 18 and 19. Zebulun and Issachar are joined together in the prophecy of Moses. And it says of Zebulun, rejoice in Zebulun in your interests abroad, and you, Issachar, in your tents at home. And he says, they shall call the people unto Mount Carmel. There they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall suck the abundance of the seas and the treasures hid in the sand. So Issachar is known as the tribe. Zebulun is known as the tribe that goes abroad, and Issachar is known as the tribe that stays at home. And that's where it comes that blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out, which it says in Deuteronomy 28 verse 6. Deuteronomy 28 verse 6. Deuteronomy 28 verse 6 says, 28 verse 6, sorry, I'm about to look at the wrong verse. 28 verse 6 says, blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. And they take they use that when theologians and scholars use that when they speak about the tribes of Zebulun and Issachar, because one represented going abroad and one represented staying at home, and they said that blessed therefore are you when you come in, and blessed are you when you go out. So we receive that blessing for us this month, that we will be blessed as we come in, we will be blessed as we go out, whether we are remaining here in Cape Town for the foreseeable future, doing the work of God, or whether we are like Taryn, about to go off and touch nations for the Lord. Taryn will be blessed as she goes out. We will be blessed as we come in. Robin, who is returning to Cape Town from Hong Kong, Robin will be blessed as she comes in, and then wherever she goes from here, she will be blessed as she goes out. So it is just, this blessing that encompasses us who have surrendered and sacrificed and laid our lives down for Jesus, that wherever we go, wherever we come, if we are walking in the will of God, we are blessed in that. I'm so excited that you're all so excited for the 2025 diary. I really am. And then it is in 1 Chronicles 12 verse 32, 1 Chronicles 12 verse 32, where they speak about the sons of Issachar. 1 Chronicles 12 verse 32, and of Issachar, men who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. 200 chiefs and all their kinsmen were under their command. Men who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. Those were the sons of Issachar. Those were the sons of Issachar. Yes, of course, beautiful Brigitte. Yeah, of course. There is such a thing as a courier service. I can just courier it to you. Okay, so let us pay attention to a few salient points about the month of Issachar, because there is so much in this month, and we are going to be, we might be going onto another. I want to do a little bit more in-depth teaching into the sons of Issachar, so we might do that on Friday. Let me see what God wants to do. So the month of Iyar, so the constellation in the sky that God put in the sky, because he put the stars and all of that in the sky. So we're not talking about astrology here. We are talking about the celestial, the sun, the moon, the stars that God put in the sky. So the constellation over the month of Iyar is Taurus, or the bull, which speaks to strength and moving forward. So the bull, Taurus, the bull, is, a bull. A bull speaks about strength, and it speaks about moving forward. So the month of Iyar is a month to renew your strength in the Lord and to ensure that you are moving forward. Even if you are moving forward a millimeter at a time, even if you feel like you're not moving forward so much as shuffling forward, little by little, as long as you are moving in a forward direction, that is all that matters. And the month of Iyar focuses a lot on strength, and it focuses a lot on moving forward. However, there is always in the Hebrew thinking, in the Hebrew language, in the Hebrew alphabet, there is often a negative and a positive. And because life is about choice, and we all get to choose how we move forward, we get to choose what we do. God doesn't force us, or he waits for us to choose often. And so my husband always says, when people say they're waiting on the Lord, my husband always says, you take a step forward and God will meet you. But sometimes we spend so much time waiting on the Lord that we don't do anything. But so here we have the bull, which is representative of strength. It's representative of moving forward. But what else is the bull representative of? Stubbornness, and idols. Because remember, it was remember what the Israelites did in the wilderness when Moses took too long to come down from the mountain? They built an idol in the shape of a calf, a golden calf, or a golden cow, or a golden bull. It's, one and the same thing in this instance, not in reality, but in this instance. So when we are in the month of Iyar and we are focusing on strength, on being renewed with the strength of the Lord, and on moving forward in God, in the things of God, in the will of God, we need to be particularly sure that we are moving forward in the will of God. We need to be those who are saying again and again, let your will be done, Lord. Not my will, not anything else. Your will be done. Let your will be done, Lord. We need to know that we are genuinely seeking the will of God and not our own will, because otherwise we can become stubborn and then we don't move forward, or we can be tempted to put our faith and our trust in idols, whatever that looks like for each of us personally. And that is not something that we want to do in this month. So the Israelites exited Egypt in the month of Nissan. They exited Egypt in the month of Nissan, which is the first month of the biblical calendar. It's the month that we are transitioning from Nissan into Iyar. So the Israelites exited Egypt in the month of Nissan, which we are leaving now. And then they arrived at Sinai. They arrived at Sinai and received the law in the month of Sivan, which is the third month of the biblical calendar. So in between Nissan and Sivan is Iyar. So Iyar is a month of transition, and it is a month of covenant. It is a month of transition where many of us will be transitioning from one space to the next. It doesn't have to be drastic transition, like we leaving, going to another nation or moving house. It doesn't have to be drastic transition. It could be the beginnings of transition, but in one way or another, we will be transitioning from one place to the next, because the month of Iyar is a month of transition, and it is a month of covenant, because when you transition, there is a lot of insecurity in transition. Often there's a lot of instability in transition. Often transitioning makes us anxious. Often it makes us nervous. We can allow fear to enter in. And so it is very important that when we are in a month of transition, like the Hebrew month Iyar, that we are constantly and consistently reassured and assured of our covenant with the Lord, that we know that God keeps his covenant even if we don't. So we stand on that covenant, on our covenant with the Lord as we transition, and then there need be no reason for fear or anxiety or insecurity or instability. And we are human, those things creep in. I know that, believe you me. But we don't need to if we are standing firm on our covenant with God, standing firm on what God has promised us and what God has prophesied over us. So Iyar is a month of transition and covenant. And some of the things that happened over the month of Nissan, between the months of Nissan, Iyar, and Sivan, some of the things that happened are that God revealed a new name to the Israelites. So in Exodus 15 verse 26, when God healed the water, he turned the bitter water in the wilderness sweet. He was revealed as, I am the Lord who heals you. So his covenant name is Yahweh Rapha, or Jehovah Rapha. I am the Lord who heals you. Every time God reveals himself in a new way to you, every time he reveals a new name, so God has something like 70 names according to Hebrew tradition, but we don't always experience all 70 of those names all at once, because that would be incredibly overwhelming. But as we need the Lord, as he comes through for us, as he covenants deeper and deeper and deeper. You must remember that a covenant is not a contract like we know a contract today. A covenant is not, it's not, the word we have lost in the Western society, we have lost the true meaning of what a covenant is, because things are so easy to break today, things are so easy to get out of today. So we have lost the true meaning of what a covenant actually is. But covenant in ancient biblical times was incredibly important. Everybody knew about covenants. Everybody knew about thresholds. Everybody knew that if you crossed certain thresholds, you could inadvertently covenant with the wrong thing, with a demonic entity or a false god. Everybody knew that those things were significant. And that is why, as we've spoken about previously, about Jesus as the cornerstone and the way they built the cornerstone and, hollowed out the basin to catch the blood from the Passover celebrations, and the fact that you would jump over somebody's threshold if you were entering in peace and love and joy, and you would kick your foot against the threshold stone if you were entering, for any negative reason. People did that because it was important. And in some nations of the earth today, like the Chinese people, and various nations like that, they still understand the concept of thresholds more than the West do. The West have lost cognizance and concept of those important things, as we have lost cognizance and concept of covenant and what covenant means. So what we do is we covenant with the Lord when we give our hearts to him, when we surrender our lives to him, when we say, you have our yes, Lord, and we want your will to be done and not our will to be done. We covenant with the Lord in that moment. But it isn't like a one and done thing. You know, it's more of as we walk our journey with the Lord, as God reveals himself to us. So he reveals himself to us when we give our hearts to him as Redeemer. But then, you know, he reveals himself as healer when he heals us. He reveals himself as restorer when he restores us. He reveals himself as vindicator when he vindicates us. And as he reveals these different facets of his nature, these different facets of his personality, he reveals his different names to us. And every time he reveals a different name to us, our covenant with him gets deeper and stronger. And he almost renews that covenant as he reveals more of himself and more of himself. If you think of a marriage, when you marry the right person, you marry somebody, but you get to know them as you are married to them. You get to know them more and more. You don't know everything about somebody when you first meet them, so you get to know them more and more. And so your marriage covenant, your relationship gets deeper and deeper, because you share things and you tell each other things, and you reveal more and more of yourself to this person that you have entered into covenant with. And that's very similar to our relationship with the Lord. Very similar to our relationship with the Lord. So in Exodus 16, the Israelites ran out of food, and God sent the quail, and God sent the manna. And in verse 12, he said, I am the Lord your God, which in Hebrew would be, his covenant name would be Yahweh Jireh, or Jehovah Jireh, your provider. So he's revealed himself as Yahweh Rapha, God your healer. Now he reveals himself as Yahweh Jireh, God your provider. Then in Exodus 17, when Israel was attacked by the Amalekites, and Aaron and Hur had to hold up Moses' arms so that they would win the battle. And can you imagine Moses with his arms up like this, and eventually he gets tired, and so Aaron and Hur have to hold his arms up. But what does this position look like to you? That doesn't it look like praise? Don't we hold our arms up to praise the Lord? Either in this position or in this position, we hold our arms up to praise the Lord. So doesn't that tell you that praise brings victory? That as Moses stood in a position of praise, the Israelites won the battle over the Amalekites. And when his arms dropped because he couldn't hold on anymore, the Amalekites would start to win. So Aaron and Hur were holding his arms up like this in a position of praise, so that victory would be had by the Israelites. So praise brings victory. Praising God brings victory, no matter what, no matter where, no matter how, no matter what's going on. Praising God brings victory. So there, God revealed himself as Yahweh Nissi, or Jehovah Nissi, the Lord my banner of victory. Yahweh Nissi, or Jehovah Nissi, the Lord my banner of victory. So between Nissan and Sivan, the Israelites received God revealing themselves to him, God revealing himself to them in three different ways: Yahweh Rapha, Yahweh Jireh, Yahweh Nissi. Their covenant with God got deeper and deeper as God revealed himself. And if God has not revealed himself yet to you as one of these names, healer, provider, or his banner of victory over you. We also often say banner of love, but I love banner of victory, because we walk in that victory, his banner of victory over you. Then I just release over you now, I decree and declare over you in Jesus' name, that you will experience God in these months between Nissan and Sivan, Nissan, Iyar, Sivan, that you will experience God revealing himself to you in these three ways, and that you will experience tangibly the deepening of your covenant with him, that you will know how deep your covenant with him goes in this month. So in the letter of the Hebrew alphabet that is associated with the month of Iyar is Vav, the letter Vav. And it's just incredible. I mean, God is so intentional. I just love it. So the letter Vav, the Hebrew letter Vav, is like a connection letter. It's a connection letter. It's a linking letter. In the same way that Iyar links Nissan and Sivan, Vav is a linking letter in the Hebrew alphabet. And it's the same way that Issachar linked Judah and Zebulun. So Iyar links Nissan and Sivan, Issachar links Judah and Zebulun, and Vav, as the letter that is associated with the month of Iyar, is a linking letter in the alphabet. Just amazing. So in the month of Nissan, which is Passover, so we've celebrated Passover in the month of Nissan, God reconfirms his covenant with you, and you reconfirm your covenant with him, so that in Iyar he can reveal his secrets and mysteries to you, and also more of his nature and covenant promises for your life, which takes you into Sivan at a whole new level in time for Shavuot or Pentecost. Can I just say that again? In the month of Nissan that we are leaving, we have Passover, where God reconfirms his covenant with you. And this is a word from the Lord. This is why I've written it down and I'm reading it to you. This is a word from the Lord. This is a prophetic word from the Lord. So I am prophesying this over you. I am decreeing and declaring this over you. In the month of Nissan that we are about to leave, we experienced Passover, where God reconfirmed his covenant with you, and you reconfirmed your covenant with him, so that in the month of Iyar that we are crossing over into at sunset this evening, God can reveal his secret. So he has reconfirmed his covenant with you. You have reconfirmed your covenant with him. So now we move into the month of Iyar, and now God can reveal his secrets and his mysteries to you. And he can also reveal more of his nature to you and more of his covenant promises for your life. So you've reconfirmed your covenant with God and his son. Now you are in Iyar, where God can now trust you enough, and your covenant is deep enough for him to reveal more of his mysteries, more of his secrets to you, which then takes you at a different level in your relationship with him, at a different level in your covenant with him, takes you into the month of Sivan at a whole new level, just in time for Shavuot or Pentecost. Just in time. So do you see, when we pay attention to the prophetic symbolism of the Hebrew months, we can ride the thermals of the Holy Spirit, and we can be intentional about seeking the Lord for these specific things. We can be intentional about them. Again, it's not only in the month of Nissan that God can reconfirm his covenant. It's not only in the month of Iyar that he can reveal his secrets and mysteries. It's not only in the month of Sivan that you experience a whole new level of the Lord. God works according to the way he needs to work in your life. But if you are looking for any of these things, if you are wanting more of the Lord, if you are wanting a deeper covenant, if you are wanting to be entrusted with mysteries and secrets, if you want to celebrate Shavuot or Pentecost at a whole new level with God, then these months, because of their prophetic symbolism, encourage you to seek the Lord, to push in, to seek his face, to ask him for these things. They encourage you to do that. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So, seek his face. Seek his face. Ask him to reveal his secrets to you. Because he wants to. He wants to. It's not that he's holding back or he's thinking, oh, golly, no, I don't want to. He wants to. Matthew 13, verse 11. Matthew 13, verse 11 says, "To you it has been given to know the secrets and mysteries of the kingdom of heaven." To you it has been given to know the secrets and mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But James 1 verse 5 also says that if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask God. So if you feel like you don't know the secrets and the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, or God has demonstrated or shown you some things, but you want more, because don't we all want more of God? Isn't that just what we all want, more of God all the time? Then you need to ask him. Ask him. Ask him to show you. Ask him to trust you. And then you need to prove trustworthy when that happens. So we really need to press in press into what God has for us. Iyar is also, the full month of Iyar is involved in the counting of the Omer. So today is I'm just checking my calendar. Today is the 15th day. The 15th day of the counting of the Omer. And we go right through the month of Iyar. On the last day of Iyar, we will be on the 44th day of the counting of the Omer, and then we go into, obviously, Sivan, and then the counting of the Omer ends on the 50th day, which is then when we cross over at sunset into Shavuot or Pentecost. It's just absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So we count the Omer through the full month of Iyar. If you read, I must start to finish now. But if you read Numbers chapter 9, verse 1 to 12, it explains to you, Numbers chapter 9, verse 1 to 12, it explains to you that if there were people who had been defiled by touching a dead body, or in this case there were men who'd been defiled by touching the dead body, so they couldn't keep the Passover on that day. And so they came before Moses and Aaron and they said, we were defiled by touching the dead body, but why then does that mean that we can't give the Lord his offering at its appointed time? So Moses went to the Lord, and the Lord said to Moses, if any man, this is Numbers chapter 9 verse 10, if any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of touching a dead body, or is far off on a journey, still he shall keep the Passover to the Lord on the 14th day of the second month. So what God gave them was the grace for a second Passover, which would have taken place in the month of Iyar. So if there were people who had touched a dead body, and so they couldn't, because their family had died and they had to deal with that, so they had to touch a dead body, and now they couldn't be part of Passover because they were unclean. Or if there were people who were on a journey far away, and so they weren't there and able to celebrate Passover with their family, with the Israelites, God in his grace gave them the opportunity for a second Passover in the month of Iyar, that those people who had been disqualified from the first Passover in the month of Nissan could then celebrate a second Passover in the month of Iyar. And this is just again proof of God's grace, proof of God, turning a negative experience into a positive experience, turning death into life, turning distance into greater closeness, because effectively that's what Passover was. That's what Passover was. Passover was turning death into life, into turning bondage and captivity into freedom. And so here are people who are disqualified from celebrating Passover, from celebrating that freedom, from celebrating that covenant, and God in his grace gives them another chance. He's like, you know what? I totally understand what happened there. Here we go. And now you can celebrate a second Passover because of what you've been through. So God then overturns what these men were seeing as negative and as something that disqualifies them. God then overturns that and turns it into a positive for them. Where these men had been exposed to death and mourning because they had lost somebody close to them, somebody they knew, a person in their family, and then that mourning was added to by the fact that they couldn't actually celebrate Passover with their family. God then turned that into life by saying, no, but here is a second chance to celebrate Passover in the next month. And then those who were far away from their homes and their families at that time and couldn't be a part of the Passover celebration then, God then turns that distance into closeness, and he says to them, but when you come back, there will be a time and a place for you to celebrate Passover. So it's like he just overturns all of these things, that they were struggling with. And it's just such a typology and a foreshadowing of Jesus, that when we serve Jesus, when we surrender ourselves to Jesus, when we give him our yes, when we give our hearts to him and lay our lives down to him, we turn death into life. We turn certain death into certain life. We turn distance from the Lord into closeness with Him. We turn a negative, a life full of negative experiences and negative emotions and negative things. We turn that into a life filled with the positives of having a relationship with Jesus. And that is only because through the grace of our God, who sent His Son to die on the cross, who sent His Son to be the Passover lamb. To be the Passover lamb, to give us that second chance, that second opportunity, that second grace period for us to choose, and to choose wisely, and to choose Jesus. So that there is so much in this month of Iyar, so much to pay attention to, so much to be grateful for, so much to thank the Lord for. And I am just trusting that each and every one of you will encounter God in His fullness in this month, that you will experience Him tangibly in His fullness in this month, and that it will indeed be a blessed month for all of you. So I want you to know that I will be praying for you this evening as we cross over from Nissan into Iyar. I will be praying for all of you that this month of Iyar will just be the most incredibly amazing month of tangible encounters with the Lord. So I bless you all. I love you all. I can't wait to see some of you tomorrow night. God has so much in store for us, and I hope you have an absolutely blessed Wednesday filled with wisdom. I will see you on Friday at 7 a.m. Love you.